there are so many of them, but primarily it's the inability of political actors or political party managers to adhere strictly to the constitution of the political parties. So by the time you circumvent or you violate your own rule, definitely the result will be chaotic, maybe unacceptable to members of the party, which will bring about conventional and non-conventional solutions. People going to court, people trying to do other things. But additionally, one of the things that's also responsible for why party leadership most times violate their own constitution too is self-serving interest and then monetization of our politics. So these are a few of some of the things, and then this do or die position of political actors. These are the major things, but primarily it's inability to adhere to the constitution of your party. So if you do adhere to the constitution of your party, you have a little or no crisis in the party. Yeah, they can. Okay, this will just be a continuation of the first question. If you obey your because the constitution is expected to be the Bible and or the Quran of the parties that everybody, no matter how high or low, is supposed to abide by. So, but where one person or one individual feel I am greater than the party, there you have problems and believe that okay, it's my own. My way, okay, my desire should be what take precedence over the constitution of the party. And looking at this, one of the things that also bring about is absence of, or let me say withdrawal of subvention grants by government to political parties. Because political party is nobody's personal property. It is meant to be a public institution. Subject to the regulation of INEC and then the members. But here, where you have political party being driven or being sponsored by one individual predominantly, as you can see, I wouldn't want to mention, in some few political parties, they have one or two major internal wranglings because Mr. A feel I'm the one that have been sponsoring this party, I must be the one to produce who become what in the party. So it's largely responsible for some of the problems. So if we must address these things, we have to address the foundation, how a political party is funded, okay, and the ability of the leadership of the party to adhere strictly, because where you have equal stake in the party, it will be difficult for one person to take all. And that will, by extension, reduce prices. A primary election, for me, I think it's supposed to be the most important election, because that is the election that you nominate the people, the candidates that the electorates will, at the end of the day, choose from. So if you end up giving them or nominating maybe wrong candidates or people who are not capable of leading the society, the people will have no choice but to elect those that you have given them. So primary election is supposed to be given every attention. At least we must be very, very meticulous in the selection of party primaries. And that also takes us back to the influence of money and maybe corruption in the system, that people or individuals or aspirants with a deeper pocket tend to have their ways, because political parties are left at the mercy of members to drive the affairs of the party. So it is a very difficult situation. So if we must solve this problem, we still have to go back to the foundation. We have to look at how parties are funded, and then adherence strictly to the internal, the constitution of the party, and then the guidelines for some of those things. And to also, then it also the judicial arm of government, the judiciary, have a lot to do in this regard, because some corrupt elements in the judiciary have their ways of twisting judgment. They have delivered some. You see a lot of judges delivering judgment that have no justice. Okay, this is Israel. You can see it's very, 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 very feasible, very obvious. But then, because of maybe somebody who is able to pay or induce such members of the judiciary, we have the judgment in their favor. So a lot of things are involved. But primarily, or importantly, primary elections are supposed to be given every attention, so that whatever come out of it should be a product of a meticulous scrutiny. When it is still about ownership, where you have everybody owning the system, where you have everybody investing in that system, you have everybody owning the system, that we don't have a bigger and a smaller owner. You have internal. If it is the votes of the members of the party that counts, you will have internal democracy. So we must work at all levels. And the legislature, I still have been appealing. I will continue to appeal, okay, using the umbrella of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, for the restoration of grants to political parties, so that by extension, the leadership of parties will be able to drive some of their activities on their own. Because if you talk about membership due, most political parties' membership due is maybe 1,000, 2,000, which people hardly pay. So if you put these things together, it's inconsequential to the activities of political parties. Then going to and that is also responsible for the outrageous nomination that some political parties impose on aspirants, because you want to make it by recover whatever you are spending, or to be able to drive. So that will also shut the door to equal participation, because it will now be that those with deeper pockets that will be able to drive the affairs of the party, that will be able to participate in the primaries and other activities in the party centrally. When you have weak internal democracy, it affects the primary election, it affects everything, it affects the product or the output, that is the candidates you are going to produce for general elections, and then by extension, it affects the quality of leadership in governance at all levels, in the legislature, in the executive. So it is what you are able to produce that will determine the quality of governance in the society. So it affects both the quality of life of the people in totality. So for me, I believe and I strongly advocate that if we must get democracy right, our political party must be strengthened internally, so that we can have what we hope to have as a dividends of democracy at all levels. The only thing I will add is that democracy is the choice of Nigerians. We chose democracy. And what is democracy? Democracy is a government that includes everybody at all levels, all segments of the society, that you have to put the government. Now that is why it's referred to government by the people. So when you by the people, you mean all the people, okay? Whether you are disabled, whether you are a woman, whether you are man, at all levels, you must be a stakeholder in the making of that government. So, and then if you have the government being put together by the people fairly, freely, inclusively, it will also determine the quality of representation, because the man who is elected by the people know that he is indebted to the people. So whatever he will do, he will look at the people who brought him, who elected him, because you know that power resides with them, and they can also remove him or any other punitive measure. So and then the people will also benefit. The government will be accountable. It will be responsible. It will be responsive to the people. But where the process of nomination, is weak, where participation is weak, where certain segments of society seem to be exempted from the system, it will affect the quality of the people who are going to elect at the end of the day. And that, by extension, will determine what we'll get. The quality of education, the quality of health care, the security of lives and property and everything. So, and we as Nigerians, as stakeholders, as politicians, we must look at Nigeria first in all we do. There were people who God gave the opportunity, for them to be there yesterday, that have all it takes to make the laws that will be qualitative, that will affect the life of the people. But whether deliberately or otherwise, they refuse to do. Today, such persons some of them are out of government, and then they want to see how they can come back through the same system, through maybe coalition or opposition or something. So the same thing that you have the opportunity to be there today, if you refuse to do it, there's always judgment of man, there's always judgment of our posterity and the way of God. So we have to be very careful, If they call it as Commissioner for Education, Minister for Education, Governor, the schools you are administering, can you send your children to that school? A Minister of Health, the school, the governor, the hospitals, the clinic in your own domain, can you go there? Can you send your family to that school? Yes, you have access to security personnel to protect you and your immediate family. But is that what is meant to be? So while we go on media or to say what we know, what we are saying is not the sincere or the real situation, we should also have fear of God at the back of our minds to see that we give back to the people what they actually desire or what belongs to them. So this is my little contribution. My name is Yusuf Dantalle, IPAC National Chairman, APM National Chairman, and a farmer.